This week we're going fast ocean rafting on the Whitsundays. We'll show you some great places to stay. There's time for a bit of history in 1770, but first let's have a look at Airlie Beach. We're still travelling north. This is Airlie Beach and it's a lovely spot. I mean, it has everything you'd expect a small resort town to have. There's some nice shops, there's a lagoon pool down there, there's a beachfront. And of course, it's the jumping off point to the Whitsunday Islands. But it is a lovely place. And this, where we are now, the Blue Horizon Apartments, is a lovely resort. Magnificent. I mean, several of these swimming pools dotted in and around the place, 1 and 2 bedroom suites. They've all got fantastic views overlooking the harbour here. It really is a place that you can use as a hub to do all those things. Get out to the islands, go into the restaurants, take the family down to the pools. Really, you'd have to be pretty hard-nosed not to like this. I mean, when you put them together, the combination of all the activities, all the adventures, and the apartments here, I mean, you're in heaven.
The very finest locations coupled with extraordinary hospitality. Blue Horizon Resort, Airlie Beach in the Whitsundays. Part of the AT Group. For more details, athotelgroup.com.au.
Jan, ocean rafting, never done it before. What's it all about?
Well, it is absolute fun on the water in the Whitsunday Islands. So we always have a little bit of a fun ride out there. We call it exhilarating. It's really good for the kids.
That's what I was about to ask. I've got a 9-year-old boy, Jack, likes a bit of adventure. Will it go down well?
It'll go down very well with him. It's the mums that we worry about.
I might be holding on to the side.
The mums always go, hold on, the kids go, woohoo!
Now we can snorkel back home in Tas. It's freezing, but you can do it. Up here, in the Whitsundays, it's a different experience. For a start, the water's warm. And let me tell you, that makes a huge difference. Splashing around in water like this is actually good fun. And if you see a few fish and some coral, well, that's great. But it's the water. Did I tell you it's warm? I mean, really, warm. Warm water. It's like a bath. Really, really warm.
I'm at famous, beautiful Whitehaven Beach. And it's not hard to see why it's famous. Fine white sand, crystal clear blue turquoise water. There's almost no better place to sit back and relax. I had a swim and a snorkel on the way out here, so that's what I'm going to do. Just sit back and relax.
While Collie's flattening the sand, let's go and take a look at this Hilly Net lookout. Today, the weather's perfect, and with the tide running out, you can really take in what the locals call the rolling sands. The views from up here really are magnificent. It makes you wonder what Captain Cook might have thought when he cruised past here all those years ago. The sand is almost entirely made up of silica, which means it never heats up and burns your feet. Because the grain is so fine, you can even clean your teeth with it. Not that I'm planning on trying.
Multi-award-winning ocean rafting offer an exhilarating ride to Whitehaven Beach, pristine snorkelling and guided national park walks. Experience a true Whitsunday adventure at oceanrafting.com.au.
Airlie Beach. Most people come here to see the fabulous Whitsunday Islands, to do all those wonderful boat trips. But while you're here, you need somewhere to stay. And this place, Big 4 Adventure Whitsundays, is a pretty good one if you've got kids. Well, even if you haven't, but if you've got kids, it's wonderful. There's loads of stuff for them to do. There's a pool, there's slides, there's a jumping pillow. And as all of us with children know, if the kids are happy, we're happy.
Are kids allowed here?
Yes, we encourage kids. So you see the water slides?
Yes.
That's built for kids. And we've got Kids Club as well. So you can do lots of crafty things at Kids Club. And we've also got Toddler Time, which is the little ones, for 18 months to 4 years. So little kids and big kids, all age kids. And we've got the pedal cart. Have you been on the pedal cart yet?
Not yet.
Oh, you have to have a go on that. And you've been on the jumping pillow?
Yeah,
Yes.
that's the most fun.
It's great, isn't it? Have you been down the water slides?
Yes.
Okay, all right. So yeah, there's heaps of kids. Very child friendly, yes.
don't have to stay in a cabin?
No, we've got everything from basic cabin and all the way through to a 3-bedroom cabin. But we've also got campsites as well, so you can bring your own tent or trailer, which is great fun as well, sleeping under the canvas. So we've got about 100 sites where you can bring your own tent or trailer. So yeah, it's great.
Explore the expansive tropical oasis, quality accommodation, facilities and oodles of fun activities for kids of all ages. Paradise found. Big 4 Adventure Whitsunday Resort, Airlie Beach. Visit adventurewhitsunday.com.au.
Ozzie Holiday.
Bit of a history lesson. This is the spot under this lee where Cook and Joseph Banks first took their tentative few steps on the land that was to become Australia. Township's behind me, named after that day, 24th of May 1770. Banks and Cook were observed when they landed. The local Aboriginal tribe were hiding in the grass and they watched them. And they observed that the tall one, Cook, stood by, while the small one, Banks, picked up some plants and was stung by caterpillars and ants. And shortly after that, they got back on the boat and headed away. Cook would probably still recognise the town of 1770. The shoreline's much the same. It's got a few four-wheel drives, it's got a few coffee shops, but other than that, relatively unchanged. It's an ideal place for kids and families because of this big sandbar here. The beach is actually sheltered and you can play with impunity. It's a lovely place.
Ozzie Holiday.
You'll notice looking around me, it's very lush and green here, and set in amongst all this greenery is the Captain Cook Holiday Park, which is where we are now. This is very pretty. The cabins are nice, they've got this lovely bushland setting, and there are camping sites all around here, again amongst the trees and all the greenery, which makes it a very pleasant stay and a good place to chill out while you have a look around the town. But when Cook discovered the place in 1770, he described it as unfit for man or beast, but he didn't say why. But we now know through studying the core samples of coral, much the same way you look at the rings in trees, that in 1770, all those years ago, the place was in its 16th consecutive year of drought. The interesting thing too is he told us a little anecdote in his journal. What he said was the shore party shot a bustard, which is a big bird that lived in this area. And they described it in the journal as the best meal they'd had since leaving England 18 months earlier. Now, bustards don't live here anymore. There are none in the vicinity of 1770. The reason for that is they like dry, very scratchy conditions. But 240 years ago, there were loads of them here. And Cook, in telling us that they shot the bustard for lunch, was also telling us that the place was very different then to what it is now.
Cabins and powered sites set amongst the trees in the heart of 1770. The Captain Cook Holiday Village. For bookings, call 1300 318 600 or visit 1770holidayvillage.com.au.
This is something I've always fancied having a go at, but never quite had the nerve. We're at Agnes Water Beach, and Michael assures me the current conditions, windy, his description, light tornado, mine, are perfect for kiteboarding. Just to give you an idea of how bad the wind is, let's let Mike answer this question. What's the biggest worry?
Sharks.
After watching him set up and giving the matter some serious consideration, I've decided beachside observation is my best option. It does look like fun though. Maybe next time.
Ozzie Holiday.
Catherine, this is an extremely unusual looking vessel.
Yes, very unique. The ex-US Army Larks, amphibious Larks.
Oh, okay, so the Lark stands for something, obviously.
It does. They were built by the US Army, so it stands for Lighter Amphibious Resupply Cargo Vessel, so an acronym.
An acronym, a good acronym. We're here in 1770 now. You're using these for what purpose?
We're a tourism operation, and there's this beautiful stretch of coastline just north of us here in Bustard Bay, and it's inaccessible by car. So we use the larks, being amphibious, to drive across the creeks and along the beaches of our beautiful national park.
Are they popular?
Absolutely. We've been operating for 18 years in May this year, just gone, so they're very popular. Yeah, lots of fun doing it too.
Ozzie Holiday.
Isn't this a fabulous spot? The place is just full of these little bays, big beaches, little spots where kids can ride their bikes and amuse themselves, where families can relax and have picnics. It really is the heart of the Sunshine Coast. And if you're after a heart starter, any one of these beachside coffee shops will do the trick. This is a great spot to relax and unwind.
Ozzie Holiday.
James, we're in Caloundra at the Queensland Air Museum, and the first thing I've noticed about the place is it's overwhelming.
It is a big facility. We have probably around about 50 aircraft. Most of them are complete externally, internally. Engines, airframe, the instruments, so everything they would have had, when they were in service.
One of the unique things about it is it's very difficult to walk amongst aircraft, isn't it? I mean, you rarely have the opportunity to do that.
It's supposed to be a unique facility that I could think of, that people can get very up close and personal with the exhibits.
Now, tell us a little bit, I know you're passionate about these planes, the Dakota you've got here.
Was used by MacArthur at least once in July 42 to take them to a war conference, and then basically finished up as a transport just in civil airline with Ansett, and then basically was converted with the long windows to Viewmaster configuration, they call it, and it was used for low-level sightseeing.
What do kids think of it when they come here?
It's like a lot of them, just their eyes, they sort of have to stop and go, wow, it's just such incredible. There's so much overload of exhibits, and the wow factor just goes into overdrive.
Ozzie Holiday.
Now, you know where we are now? I'll tell you. It's called the Bellingham Maze.
William Maze.
Yeah. Now, do you know what a maze is?
Yeah.
Well, tell me.
It's something where you go through in circles and circles or triangles and triangles.
What, and vomit? So you're keen to have a bit of a walk around and see what you can do inside it? Mm-hmm. Do you think we could lose your brother in there?
Yeah.
Do you think he might get eaten by something?
Yeah, I would love him to get eaten. He's such a annoying brother. Let's go.
Ozzie Holiday.
This is all right, isn't it? You can see why they call it the Sunshine Coast. 8 o'clock in the morning, sun's blazing, beach is full of kids. This is Dicky Beach, and we stayed overnight just over there at the Dicky Beach Holiday Park. It's one of several owned and operated by Sunshine Coast Holiday Parks. Has all the facilities you'd expect of a park in this area. But the big thing is, it's right here on Dicky Beach. You just step out and you're on the beach. And what a fabulous spot it is. Really great.
Dicky Beach Family Holiday Park at Caloundra is one of 9 parks in the Sunshine Coast Holiday Parks Group, operated by Sunshine Coast Council. For details and bookings, visit sunshinecoastholidayparks.com.au.
Now, you may think this is not the ideal holiday destination, but when you've been on the coast 10 days or so and all that sun and surf is just starting to wear a bit thin, well, a little retail therapy might be just the thing. Welcome to Sunshine Plaza. Look at the place. Built on a canal, there are pedal boats for the kids to play on, restaurants galore, everything you could wish for when you feel like shaking that sand out of your toes.
For more information on your next naturally refreshing holiday to the Sunshine Coast, go to visitssunshinecoast.com.au.
Ozzie Holiday.
You can see why they call Caloundra, and it surrounds the playground of the Sunshine Coast, can't you? I mean, behind me, big council-placed water feature, lovely stuff. All the kids are in there. In front here in the foreground, you've got a lovely grassy zone where people can have barbecues and generally enjoy themselves. And then out in the front of that, you've got the beach, Kings Beach, which is just one of many in this region. And that's a great place to chill out on. This place really does have it all. It's a mecca for kids. There's rides, fountains and playgrounds, a safe swimming pool, and lots of places to just soak up the sun. Malcolm, the name is large, the Maroochy Regional Bushland Botanic Gardens.
That's right, Steve. Yeah.
But the regional comes from what?
The fact that we just grow plants, native plants, from this region, the Sunshine Coast and the broader hinterland and even southeast Queensland. I think people will appreciate the textures of the different kinds of foliage and the different kinds of plants, because we've got everything from tall eucalypt forest species down to rainforest scrub, ferns, and there's a lot of variety, even though we may only seem to be choosing from a small range.
Yeah.
There's a few kilometres of bush trails, but being in a botanic garden, very accessible, quite safe and easy to use, but gives the experience that you would find it hard to replicate in any other place that's so close.
And you've got open areas too where people can have a picnic.
A lot of picnic shelter area and a lot of lawn space where people can just enjoy a passive recreation experience.
Okay.
The sculpture garden was created in 2006 using sculptures that had been made during an international symposium, a 2-week experience of sculptors just getting together with their angle grinders and their jackhammers and just going for it. There are little surprises every time you come.
Ozzie Holiday.
Now we're standing on a piece of Caloundra's history, are we not, Barry?
Yes, this is the original lighthouse. It was built in 1896 and had a holiday away for a while. Back on its original position. It was resurveyed.
Okay.
So we've sat it back where it was.
As you're part of the Friends of the Lighthouse, aren't
Yes,
you?
yes.
And you're here to look after it, essentially.
Yes, we're a voluntary organisation and we just do the maintenance on it.
Okay.
And we like people to come up and look through both buildings.
That's what I was going to ask you, because we've got another one next door to us. What's this one here?
Yes, it's a signal station. It was built in 1968. Ran for a few years and then they closed it down and went up to Point Cartwright.
Probably because of what, all the high-rise buildings?
Yes.
People complaining.
Bit of light.
Yeah, bit of light shining into their bedroom windows at night. Okay. So now it would be fairly unique in that you've got the two of them side by side.
Extremely lucky. Extremely, yes.
Yeah.
I don't know of anywhere else in Australia that's got this situation. Every second Saturday we open up to the public and they can get into both buildings, which is another unique
I was going to say that's pretty rare too these days, isn't it?
It is.
Mind you, it's not a bad view when you get to the top, is it?
No, it's worth doing the maintenance.
So that's the whole Sunshine Coast playground down there.
Pretty much, and you've got all your shipping out on the horizon.
Beautiful.
So you get it all.
For more information on your next naturally refreshing holiday to the Sunshine Coast, go to visitsunshinecoast.com.au.
In keeping with showing you great places to stay, here on the Sunshine Coast, this is a really good one. We're at the Maroochy River Resort, and these are the bungalows behind me, and they're right on the Maroochy River. Now this is a fabulous spot. You can get kayaks, you can hire pedalos, you can fish. There's fish jumping in the river. And the bungalows are beautiful. It's very lush and green. And if you're looking for a place to stay that's handy to all the spots, this has got to be one of them.
Beautiful bungalows in an idyllic riverside setting. Maroochy River Resort is a great place for your next Sunshine Coast holiday. Visit maroochyriverresort.com.au for details and bookings.
Ozzie Holiday.
We drove here last night from Coffs and we're in the heart of Brisbane's CBD. That there, very distinctive building, is where we stayed, the Metro Tower Mill Hotel. Now it's distinctive because they call it cylindrical, but I think You know, that's a fancy way of saying round, really. The distinctive features of it are those balconies. Each of the rooms has one of those lovely little balconies, and when you stand there at night or sit down, you can overlook the whole city. And watching the city, literally all the lights come on as the sun sets, looking at the buildings, it's a very pleasant experience. The beauty of the place being right in the heart of the city, it's close to the art galleries, the museums, and all the botanical gardens. And it's an ideal place for kids because Movie World, Sea World and Dream World are literally only 45 minutes train ride away. It's close to the Brisbane Convention Centre and the Exhibition Centre if you're coming here on business. The Metro Tower Mill Hotel, it's in the heart of Brisbane, right where the action is, and that's what it looks like.
A wide range of accommodation packages are available at Metro Hotel Tower Mill, Brisbane. For bookings, go to metrohotels.com.au or call direct on 07 3832 1421.
Next week, we're taking a big long look at Newcastle. Beaches, art, history, swinging around in trees. These Novocastrians know how to live. Next week on Aussie Holiday.
Aussie Holiday. Aussie Holiday.
Want to be part of the show? Follow us on Twitter, find us on Facebook, or just email airtracks@bigpond.com.